little cone. If I'm doing something small and thin, I maybe would dial it back a little bit. I think that this is probably a decent flame. I just want to have that ready to go before I do this. I'm ready to score it. Depending on the size or how weird something is, I may want to like have a soft surface to press on or have some other kind of like thing that would hold it steady. I feel okay about what I can get away with your sphere. I only need to make a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch long score. I'm not going to score all the way around. I'm going to make a little score that I make sure I get good pressure and I make sure it's not too crooked. If you're a little crooked, it'll self-correct because basically the crack is going to start and it's going to follow the band where you heated it. So I want to just try to not be too crooked, follow that plane, and then I'll really try to like press down into this.
Get it on something soft. So what if you were doing the opposite, like perpendicular? Like if you were trying to put it this way, would that not work?
You can get away with it, but once you start to get too close to that hole, it's like the crack's probably not going to travel across that.
So a middle score? Yeah.
And then what I want to do now, I'm going to make sure this is fairly well centered, which it's not awful. And then I also want to go down like this and make sure that my score line is traveling in a flat plane. So if it's like riding high on one side and doing this, then we are not going to be a happy little crack. We want to be a happy little crack. What do you guys think? Straight on or at an angle?
Straight on.
Angle. Angle. So if I point this directly at the side of the bubble wall, it's going to hit and spread out. And if I do it at an angle, at a tangent with the direction, it's going to be a sharper band of heat. This may be a little too hot on the torch.
Right, did you just make it hotter?
I made it smaller.
So you really want right at the end of the point?
I want it to be pretty close. This can really vary a lot. Depends on wall thickness. And sometimes just is some kind of like mystical thing that you just can't quite anticipate. So it's probably going to happen when I least expect it. And you don't really need the didymiums for this because the didymiums are...
You should have eye protection.
Should have eye protection.
Is the glass changing?
I hope not.
Like, do you see anything, or like you don't really?
You won't see anything until it cracks. Sometimes it'll really make you wait for it.
Only when the camera's rolling.
Yeah.
That's why he's gonna edit. 20 minutes later.
Now you're talking crazy.
Yeah. I've seen that on the internet.
Pass it around. This will be hot. And razor, flip and
Nice. Wow. That's so much easier
Mr. Singh. I'm gonna like sit down and do my best to get a nice score line in this because I can't do it very well up here.
I like to get it started.
Let me answer you in a second after I do this. It's a little high.
Gavin's interested.
I love Pop Poppins. Yeah. got like side this over here. It's like playing Jack in the Box.
Yeah. It's scary every time.
You don't know when it's gonna do it.
It's gonna be kind of startling. This one's bigger. I felt okay about the flame. I might bump it up just a little bit because I'm running a bigger diameter, so it's like gonna take a little longer. All right, let's just go for it. So like,
So if this was closed, would you like risk things exploding, or it's really not that much?
I mean, if it was closed, it would probably already have a decent amount of strain in it, because you don't really want that.
So you can only do it with an open thing.
I mean, you can kind of only make an open thing, or you should only make an open thing. What does Courtney say about that?
I wouldn't close off the bubble. It will explode.
Oh yeah, that's why I was asking.
Definitely wouldn't want to hot pop something that was closed.
And this is a little off center, and I'm like trying to just vary the torque.
Wow!
Vary the torque.
Jesus. That side to set.
That's like-
I gotta get
Yeah.
the demo was
That's,
great.
that's like when the dentist is like, so what you do today? Like,
Oh, look at
Very nice.
over there, man.
That's a pretty
I
nice
did the easy part.
parabolic reflector.
Put the same foot on that. Yeah.
I've done this before, just taking one of those little foam diamond hand pads that they have up there, or a piece. Some shops keep like scraps of wet belt sander belts that they cut into squares. You can put some water on that and just take, because right now this is 2 circular razor edges that will just like cut the crap out of you. So if you got it smooth enough that you didn't need to like cold work and you know, as soon as you guys start trying this, you're gonna get ones that like, this is simple enough that I shouldn't be able to make it look easy, but you'll find ways when it like doesn't work exactly the way you think it's gonna work, and then you know, weird stuff will happen.
But you're just gonna bevel it. You're not gonna.
Right. So if I didn't want to cold, if it was fat enough, I'm not gonna cold work. So I'll gently bevel. Take this. I won't even bevel it. I'll just take the razor edge off.
Here.
And I could do the outside on the belt sander, like 400 or 600 belt.
You might be able to do the inside on the belt sander too.
Yeah, 400 or 600 belt, just kind of like not change the shape at all. But
But your face is clean.
so this is awesome. We're gonna put pound water in it and flip one of those things on.